Hurt in a car? Call our sponsor, William Matar. 844-444-4444. With a focus on motor vehicle accidents, the team at William Matar has handled thousands of cases like yours. Let them help you get the money you deserve after a motor vehicle accident. Rideshare, truck, motorcycle, car, only call William Matar. 844-444-4444. Welcome back to another episode of the Sabre Report podcast. My name is Jonah.
And I'm JP.
And the Buffalo Sabres tie this series up 2-2. They take a tight one in Montreal in the Bell Center by a score of 3-2. We are going back to Buffalo with a tied series.
3-game series is all that's left, and 2 of them are in Buffalo. Got to take advantage. Everything changed. All we said, all you got to do is win a game, and all the narratives change.
The narratives will immediately change after tonight. So much changed tonight. They threw the kid in there finally. They did throw Helenius into this game, and you know me, I'm not one to victory lap. I want my mailbox full of apology forms now. I want them full now. As someone who has been fighting this battle since January, that this kid not only should be in the lineup, but is legitimately, potentially your 8th or 9th best player at this point in time and could rise up the ranks, it's very satisfying. Tonight was very, very gratifying. That kid came in and played unbelievable hockey game from Konsta Helenius. He was second in ice time for forwards tonight at 5-on-5. He was unreal. Not to jump ahead, but a lot of narratives changed. We're going back to Buffalo. Montreal is going to be reeling just a little bit. I mean, I think based on our comments, they still feel like they deserve to win this game tonight, which I'm just going to say no. I'm going to flat out say no. Game 3, you know what? Yeah, we know what, we're ripping off the Band-Aid a little bit here. I saw our YouTube comments. A lot of Montreal fans packed in there, and I'm just going to say, saying some stupid stuff. The amount of people that thought that this series was over after going up 2-1 was ridiculous. All right? And the Sabres could lose this in 6. They could lose the next 2 games. I acknowledge that. I recognize Montreal is a great hockey team. A lot of their fans, their media, the national media, they don't seem to recognize they're playing the Atlantic Division champions. They don't. They don't seem to recognize that. And tonight was just like a shut up, please type of game. Just please. All right? And I already know because the narrative, they had 1 billion shot attempts and they ended up out shooting the Sabres tonight, that they're going to try and claim the victory that they deserve to win this game. They didn't. They had 7 power plays, and the 5-on-5 numbers were heavily skewed in the Sabres' favor. So I don't know if you can tell, the temperature's been turned up in this series a bunch tonight. This game is this is the type of game that you felt like people grew gray hairs tonight. It was the first Sabres playoff game to really feel like that. This was a game that took years off of people's lives.
Yeah, you're fired up. You are fired up. Welcome to all the Montreal fans. We appreciate the listen. The discourse is fun, but yeah, I mean, I think what was funny is that people were in our comments saying we aren't giving the Canadiens enough credit. And this is the same shit that happened when we did our division preview in the beginning of the series. We gave the Canadiens so much positive credit, but like if you don't worship the ground they walk on, it's like, what are you guys talking about?
God forbid I said they didn't have a Nikita Kucherov on their team. God forbid. God forbid I said like the Edmonton Oilers had a better power play than them, which is just statistically true. And even then, I worked a compliment into that whole bit. Like tonight, more of the same. Montreal's power play had I guess, a tough night. They were still going Harlem Globetrotters because the Sabres penalty kill is not very good, and Luukkonen was up to the task. That's what I said last game. Like, very well run power play, and I don't know. It's Montreal fans are unquestionably to me like the most passionate in the league, and they're a fan base that is a whole lot more positive than Toronto. But I find that the effect of that is sometimes you have to kiss the ground that their players walk on. That's it. And all I asked was for a little respect in this series. It's just the amount of people saying the series was done, Montreal was levels above the Sabres. It just, to me, was ridiculous. They're forgetting that this team went on a historic run this year and have bounced back plenty of times. When's the last time this team has lost 3 straight? I think they did it like once in late March. It's even if the Sabres lose this series, they've lost 3 straight games like 2 or 3 times all season. It was incredible to me that this series was suddenly over after 2 rough games by the Sabres. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to disagree with that. But people were acting as if the series was 3-0 or 3-1 already. And it ticked me off. I feel like my hockey team deserves a little bit more respect. That's all.
It's just the ebbs and flows of a series. I mean, some Sabres fans were talking out of line after game 1. It's the ebbs and flows. But I get it. I mean, it wasn't even just Canadiens fans. Like, there were a bunch of Sabres fans thinking this series was over already. I mean, even some very positive Sabres fans that we know were like, yeah, this is over.
That was probably more egregious. Like, some people thinking that this team couldn't persevere. Like, have you watched this hockey team this year? That's all they've done. That's all they've done is bounce back. And they've gotten themselves out of so many holes and deficits like they did tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it felt, when they went down 2-1 going into the second, like, it felt a little like, like, damn, like, this could be it. Like, that first period was their best period of the series, maybe one of their best of the playoffs, and they came out of it losing. But look at what they did. This team deserves benefit of the doubt. Just a little. Not like when they're down 2-1 in a series. Don't get me wrong. I knew how much this game meant. If the Sabres lost tonight, I did not think they were going to win this series. Full stop. I thought maybe they wouldn't have even won another game, potentially. But I still have faith that they were going to do it. I acknowledge that this team is too good to probably get gentlemen swept by the Canadiens.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, you were talking earlier that they had 7 power plays and a 5-on-5, that we were better. Money puck, 5-on-5, Sabres 2.11 expected goals. The Canadiens 1.57. You throw in all situations, the Sabres still had a lot more, which was saying that their power play was actually better than the Canadiens' power play too. 4.6 to 3.3. So, and they won the deservable win here. So, like, it's a similar story to game 1 where it's like, yeah, the Sabres got outshot, but like, Sabres had more quality chances. They came out on top at the end. Like the Canadiens, dare I say, are they playing Hurricanes hockey? They're just taking so many shots.
I won't say no, but I do think like the third period, they were showing the shot attempts and they were showing, and obviously by the end they led the game in shots. What was their best chance of the third period? I'm trying to think. I think there was like that 1 point shot, and it was a point shot where it got through and it hit Luukkonen, and it was sitting right in front of him. And I think Texier or Newhook kind of threw it to his 5-hole, and he had it closed off. That's the best chance I can really think of.
Yeah, the one that went through UPL's legs at the end.
That was on the power play.
Squeak through,
and that was on the power play, I believe.
Yeah.
The Sabres held them to the outside of the ice. I think, this wasn't
what they did game 1.
Yeah, and it's not.
It wasn't
like
as
tonight,
effective game 1.
Yeah, game 1 was legitimately. You need to watch that game if you think the Habs were the better team, because through the first 2 periods they were not, and then the Sabres went into shutdown mode and completely shut that team down. Tonight, yeah, they surrendered possession and gave up quantity, but the quality wasn't really there. I mean, once again, they've had a good run here this season of shutting down the Canadiens in the third period when they have a lead. And, Tonight was an example of that. So, no, I'm not gonna hear it. Anybody that thinks that the Canadiens were better tonight, if you want to say if you want to throw in power plays, yeah, sure. I mean, their power play is much better than the Sabres. You will not see me denying that, even though Sabres did have more power play goals tonight.
They didn't have too many chances though. They had 7 power plays. They had some chances, but I'm not saying.
I don't know.
Considering they played so much.
Luukkonen robbed Caulfield twice. Demidov almost kind of snuck one through with a one-timer. They were still themselves tonight. I thought
they were still great, but considering they had 7 power plays, I don't think they had as many chances. I mean, the Canadiens fans would admit it. They didn't have. Their power play was not as good as it should have been tonight. I mean, their power plays. They have a good night. They won the game. I mean, simple as that. I thought our penalty kill was actually decent tonight. I mean, we killed off a 4-minute major penalty.
That was huge.
From
that was
the second to the third. I mean, yeah, that was massive. And it was interesting tonight too because their penalty kill was aggressive tonight for the first time all series. And it actually kind of worked. It was more aggressive than the past 2 games where they literally just sat still and did nothing.
I think it was. I feel like they've been aggressive all series. I think tonight was just very much. I think they were covering their bases a lot more tonight. They're learning more about the Canadiens' power play as each game goes on. Now they can't stop them, fully. I mean, the Canadiens still had a goal tonight, but they're learning. I think every power play, even though the Canadiens I feel like have a million options when they're out there, they do have tendencies, and I think that they lock down more opportunities than what the Habs had in Game 3. So yeah, should we talk about the first period?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into this now.
One of the worst ref periods, I think.
I want to preface this by saying, I think for anybody, if you're tuning into our show for the first time this series, and especially if you're a Canadiens fan, go listen to the Game 3 show, because I will say, JP, you can attest to it. Did I go after the officiating whatsoever?
Nope.
No. The Sabres were playing like they had their heads chopped off all night. Malenstein running into Dobish was Bush League. Dahlin clocking Doc was Bush League. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Tuck had a lazy high stick. They were doing dumb stuff all game long. The referee...
No, keep going. Sorry.
Well, the refereeing had no real impact on that game. The Sabres lost that game because of themselves. Full stop. Canadiens fans had every right, except for people defending Jekai at the end there. That was Bush League. He just straight on clocked the guy. Can't happen. Even if Carrick was, slashing him a little bit, that can't be the escalation. Besides that, Sabres were fully in the wrong that entire game.
And I'll add on. We're going to talk about the second and third period. All of the penalties were dumbass penalties by the Sabres.
Yes.
Bowen Boyum, 2 stupid high penalties. Dahlin, stupid interference. Even if you think Caulfield was a little weak on
Caulfield
his feet.
He threw him into the third row.
Yeah, even if he was weak on his feet, it was still stupid.
Yeah.
All of the penalties after the first were what are we doing?
No,
genuinely.
This is all.
They were trying to lose.
This is all the first period.
Yes.
Everything that we're about to complain about is the first period. The first period is one of the more egregious refereeing shows I have seen in my entire life. I don't blame referees. I hardly ever do. And like JP and I just explained, we can't blame them for the last 2 periods of this game. The Sabres get off to their best start of the series. They're out shooting the Canadiens 8-1. They scored the opening goal, which, by the way, phenomenal goal. Josh Norris, pass of maybe his career, answering to the noise, a lot of which we've created, myself in particular. There's been a lot of criticism there. Beautiful, gorgeous pass to find Samuelsson backdoor, and even Samuelsson, who I think has been bad all series long. Phenomenal opening goal. They're completely boat racing the Montreal Canadiens, and there's this chance in close. Konsta Helenius, who once again making things happen, cuts to the net, goes through the crease, gets a shot on Dobesh, but there's a rebound. Quinn chips it up chips it into Dobesh's glove, and there's a whistle. Seemingly nothing happened. Nobody in the moment thought that anything was going to come from that, and then we head to the media timeout. Did you have something to add?
I was just going to say I went to commercial break. Like, literally no one thought anything of it.
So we come back, and I think they cut back as soon as the referee's making the announcement that potentially the puck had crossed the goal line. And I will also say this. First of all, the puck goes into the glove of Dobesh, and the glove, it's sort of in the net. Looks like it is, looks like it isn't. It's one of those weird ones. I'm going to be surprised. I'm going to say this. I have seen this play 1,000 times. Any NHL fan who watches games on a consistent basis has seen this 1,000 times, where the puck is in a piece of equipment. The equipment, it looks like it's in the net, but because you can't physically see the puck, usually they just say no goal. I know you could see the puck in his glove, but I thought the net cam was a deceiving angle. I think the overhead made it look a lot more up for debate. It doesn't matter. The referees, after about 5 or 6 minutes of conversation, they make the call at center ice. It's a good goal. The Sabres are up 2-0. And you know, it was a long media break, long review, yada, yada, yada. But guess what? Now the Sabres have a 2-0 lead. Until right away, Martin St. Louis challenges the play immediately, saying that there was goaltender interference. And we go to the replay, and Konsta Helenius, after chipping the puck, listen, you know my rule of thumb. My rule of thumb in the NHL is if a player goes into the crease unobstructed, like it's their own decision, as Helenius did, and he makes contact with the goaltender, chances are they're going to call it back. Not that I disagree. Wait a minute. We got a visitor. We have a visitor. Just in time.
Is this thing on?
It's on. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Jesse Calhoun, for the first time in about a year and a half.
Hang on.
And he's
if he's
already
connected.
frozen. Oh.
Nope. There he is.
I
You
switched
there, man?
from Wi-Fi. My fault.
You just caught
Just
me in the
walking
middle. We're trying to describe the whole goaltender interference sequence. But Jesse and I talked a little bit after the game. He wanted I offered for him to come on the show rather quickly. He wanted to say his 2 cents before hopping off.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man? You played a hell of a
Great.
game last night. I just wanted to hop in and say that to you.
Thank you. I wasn't mentioning the AI overview, though, and you were, so I got to give more credit to you.
Yeah, AI was loving me. I don't know what's up with that, but you said a goaltender interference?
Yeah.
Well, I think the ESPN broadcast was making it seem like it was Helenius, but I'm seeing on Twitter it was Jack Quinn pushing his glove, but I just think the refs as a whole, man. In the first period, I thought we were in for just a ref show. I was ready to just crash out for the whole rest of the game, but I think they figured it out after the first period, and the Sabres showed they're the better team, but I don't know. You see me?
This is a lot more tame than I thought it'd be.
I'm just I'm feeling good right now. I was a little fired up, and I'm kind of leveled off a bit. Let's see if I can get a light going on here. I don't know what's going on here.
Thoughts on the Tage Thompson penalty?
I got a couple thoughts about that one, but yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get a light going on here. Just walking between houses here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Jesse he actually owns 2 houses.
No,
His one house is just entirely meant for an
uncle lives
office.
4 doors. My uncle lives 4 doors down from me. I was at his house. Now I'm in my garage. I got the light going on so you can see what's going on. But I was a little fired up about the Tage penalty. I think as I said to Jonah, I said there's no way that a fully grown professional athlete goes down that easy. I was a little fired up about that. They've been calling embellishment. I feel a lot of the games I've been watching this year, they've been calling embellishment. So I thought, if you're calling Tage, like whatever, but you call Gooley too for the embellishment because he sold it, man. I'm fired up, dude. The Sabres, dude. I was so nervous about this game all day. I said like 5 words at work today. Everyone's asking me what's wrong. I was like, it's just Sabres game day. Like, they need this one. Now I'm pacing around my garage, man. I'm just fired up. Sabre report. What do you guys want to talk about, dude? Got a little chair going on.
You know what? I only think it's right. I think if people don't know you, the last time you were on this show, you were currently crashing out on one Matthias Samuelsson. So if you want to touch on the opening goal tonight and talk about,
you want me to talk about Josh Norris? I'll go on a 30-minute rant about Josh Norris if you want me to. I'm sure you don't want me to. I know your thoughts about Norris, dude.
No,
okay, so full disclosure for everybody. I was supposed to come on after game 2. Me and Jonah were at Canal Side together. And he was like, "Oh, if you feel like coming on the show." I was like, "I do. I'll let you know." So I live about 25 minutes from downtown. I didn't play anything in the car on the way home from game 2. Silent car ride home. I was really sad, dude, because I'm day 1 Tage Thompson guy, not necessarily a day 1 Josh Norris guy, but I bought into Josh Norris. I feel like I've been preaching Josh Norris
guy.
Day 35 Josh Norris. I feel like I've been preaching Josh Norris for a bit. Game 2 was tough for me because that might have been the worst Tage Thompson's ever looked in a Sabres jersey. Norris didn't look a whole lot better than he did. I feel like Norris came alive today, man. I was saying after Game 3, I thought he was okay. Jonah hit me with a bro. I was like, yeah, I know. But I feel like Norris looked good today, dude. Little no-look pass to Samuelsson. I know I was big on Samuelsson too, like big Tage guy. He didn't respond to the hit. Samuelsson's had a good year, man. Haven't been on here since Samuelsson's been just popping off the whole year. So nice little backdoor finish from Samuelsson. Little no look pass from Norris. Dude. The Sabres are back, dude. What more can I say? Oh, dude, I'm feeling good. What's good,
to hear
JP?
your voice on here again. I'm glad you're back.
Just enjoying this.
Yeah, I got the jersey on. Feeling good. This little chair set up. I don't know if you can see it. It wobbles a little bit, but we're making it work.
It's a make-do studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question. Was that potentially the best shot of Tage Thompson's career tonight?
Well, so yes and no. I'll stand by that. He might have meant to make something happen with that. I don't know if it was a goal, but I'm seeing a lot of Canadiens fans on Twitter say they're complaining about the Zamboni door stanchion, and I guess that's been a thing. So maybe he did his research.
Apparently, it's been a common occurrence. That I did get that. Apparently, this is the Zamboni driver's fault.
They said that on the
what is the HF
broadcast.
TV or something? They were saying like we got to get the Zamboni door fixed. So hey, maybe
they were in full all caps mode.
Maybe Tage was in the lab, dude. He was doing a little research. Saw that maybe I'll dump it in on the left side this time and see what happens. But I did think it was. I thought it was tucked into the side, but like the little side pocket on the outside. I thought that's where it was, but whatever the announcer was, he was hating on the Sabres the whole game, but he let me know it was in. So I was pretty fired up.
Shout out announcers for that, letting us know what's going on.
I'm usually a Ray Ferraro guy too, but he was big against the Sabres today. I don't know what was up with that. Whoever it was that was saying
feels like everybody has.
Whoever it was that was saying Dahlin was opening an old cut on that high stick, dude, are you kidding me right now? Like, where's the professionalism, dude? Like, you think he's got a cut on his lip that he's just biting after he gets a high stick to open it back up to get blood going on? What are we doing here, dude? Doc Emmerich would have never did that. What's good, JP? How'd you feel about the game?
I felt pretty good.
Did you like how Norris played today?
Honestly, he made that one great play. I don't know if I noticed him the rest of the game.
Dude, he won a couple faceoffs though.
I thought he was fine. Hey, we won the face-off battle tonight, actually.
They showed that graphic that he was winning a lot of faceoffs. They said he's their main faceoff guy. I don't know how true that is, but I didn't have a whole lot to complain about Norris today. I could be biased though.
Norris was second lowest on the team in expected goals for tonight, or in the goals for
expected assists for. Is that a stat?
What?
Expected assists for? Is that a stat?
Might be a stat. I don't know.
Some websites do track that, but I'm sure he at least had one.
At least one. It probably skyrockets with the whole no-look thing going on.
They give out style points.
Yeah, I mean I do. I don't know about the statisticians, but hey man, Zach Benson, what a beast. Honestly, like, got to re-sign that guy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog.
Thoughts on Alex Tuck while you're here?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of complaints about him, but I can't say I really noticed him that much tonight, which probably isn't ideal. But you know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm not gonna say too much bad about Alex Tuck right now. He's one of the boys right now, man. I'm pulling for him. Probably not an 8-year extension.
He's one of the fellas.
Yeah, like we'll get to him in probably a month or two, but if he wants the Kempe contract, we'll probably have a conversation at some point, but
not tonight. Jesse's feeling good.
Man. Yeah,
in case you haven't
Tage
heard.
Thompson, man. Let's talk about Tage Thompson. You guys want to get back to it, or
I'm enjoying this.
just do a little cameo?
I just know I knew Yeah, you didn't want to be up for the dawn of the next day, so.
Yeah, I'm probably not up for a whole like podcast conversation. I'll let you guys get down to the analytics and whatnot, but just wanted to come in and say what's up to the boys.
Hey, more appearances on the pod in the last week than Christian, so I'll give you credit.
More Lancaster Lumberjacks games than him too.
Ooh, that's a tough subject.
Yeah, people are confused by the context. Lancaster Lumberjacks, Labatt League. We did look good last night. We did look good.
Appreciate you letting me stop by, dude. It's good to say what's up.
Of course, bro. Doors always open. I don't think the folks at home know it yet. JP will not be in attendance should this team play a Game 7, so doors open for you there as well.
Hey,
no, doors open for you any episode. Why am I even saying that? We don't need. You can come anytime you want.
Let me. Let me tell you. I found a mini like plastic storage bin with just like countless amounts of cords. So I think I got it narrowed down. I will find all these chords and we'll get it going at some point.
Okay. I mean, there is I don't know if you've heard of this website. It's called Amazon, I think. You can always get a new cord from there. But if you want to keep looking through the bin for your mic cord, that's fine too.
What was the website?
Amazon, like the forest.
Amazon.
If you know where that is, I don't know if you went to school, but
Amazon.
Yeah,
Like
the economy's
Amazon
tougher.
Prime? I think I got Amazon Prime. I could probably make something work
no.
with that.
Well, I mean, you might get a deal. Maybe that could help. Amazon Prime, maybe.
They're usually good with delivery on that. So yeah, dude, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. But
Yeah. All right.
I could
Check it
I could do
out.
some searching up. Man.
Yeah. Go crazy, man. Go crazy.
You know what? Let me hang this up. I'll go check that bin out, and if I get no luck, I'll check out that website you just put me on to, and we'll figure something out.
All right. Word.
All right, man.
See ya, Jesse.
Take care, brother. Love you, man. We interrupt this episode of the Sabre Report podcast to tell you about our sponsor, William Mattar. Hurt in a car? Call our sponsor, William Mattar. 844-444-4444. With a focus on motor vehicle accidents, the team at William Mattar has handled thousands of cases like yours. Let them help you get the money you deserve after a motor vehicle accident. Rideshare, truck, motorcycle, car, only. Call William Mattar. 844-444-4444. Alrighty then. Where were we? Right. The goaltender interference penalty. So, like I said, my rule of thumb, player goes into the crease on their own, makes contact with the goaltender. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm just saying that's the NHL. I think that's usually what they call. And they come back after another 2 to 3, 4 minutes, come back to center ice, and now the goal that they just confirmed was a goal. It is now overturned. The goal is taken off the board. It's still 1-0 Sabres after damn near 10 to 15 minutes of media break time plus reviews. Unfathomably bad review process by the NHL. I'm not, like I said, the calls are the calls. It was upsetting. Of course it was upsetting to see the goalie interference one. It's soft contact. We all know that. My issue is it's just the length. That totally changed the momentum of the game, just how long it took. The Sabres were all over the Canadiens, and it all came to a grinding halt. It was basically a mini intermission, and right after that, the obviously the building is jazzed by the no call, or by the overturned call, and the Canadiens kind of took over the pace of play the rest of the period, or at least at points. New Hook, who, once again, playing like Guy Lafleur this series, buries another one, ties the game, and you can just feel the momentum switch. Then we get into the other penalties. Jason Zucker is kind of tangled up with, who was it? Was it Doc? I forget who it was.
I forget.
He's kind of he knocks him down to the ice, and he gives him a little show. Actually, was that the second period? I think that was the second period. I don't think the Zucker penalty was next. Was it the first?
That was the second penalty of the game.
Okay, so Zucker knocks Doc into the boards a little unnecessarily, and I think it was really made bad by the fact he was turning to get up, and he turned towards the boards, and that's when Zucker makes the contact. His head goes into the boards, and it's like, okay, fine, all right, whatever. Unnecessary contact. I don't think it was vicious, but what are you going to do? Sabres go out, they kill that penalty. Then the Sabres get a power play. And it takes them a little bit to break into the zone, but they break into the zone, keep the puck in. Tage Thompson receives it from Rasmus Dahlin, and Rasmus Dahlin goes for your typical, hey, I'm just going to skate forward, but I'm going to skate forward in the lane of the opposing player. He didn't stick his shoulder out. He didn't stick his leg out. He's just skating straight. And Caden Gooley, who you're going to hear a few times during this period, wraps his leg around Rasmus Dahlin, bumps into him, and completely flops to the ice. Referees raise their hand. The Sabres' power play is immediately negated. Dahlin can't believe it that they called interference on that. He goes to the box, and we get about a minute or so of 4-on-4 hockey before the Habs get their power play. The Sabres also kill that one off. Time winding down in the first period. I believe there's about 1:40 to go. There is a rush up the ice. The Thompson line is out there. Forget off the top of my head. I didn't go back to rewatch the individual play to set it up. Somehow the puck winds up out of play. Caden Gooley, once again, is kind of defending on the rush. He slows up. Tage Thompson kind of closes the gap between them, and they make contact. And Thompson gives Gooley literally the lightest of shoves forward while they're moving. Gooley takes... I mean, genuinely, this was the worst one. This is not a penalty whatsoever. He takes a dive, goes into the boards. The referee, once again, immediately raising his hand. Montreal goes to the power play. Cole Caulfield dekes out Luukkonen. 2-1 Habs going into the first intermission. Unfathomably bad officiating period, review period, just unbelievable disaster class by the NHL that period. That was it's just unreal. To go from the awfully long review with calls both ways, I think could be argued with, especially the goaltender interference one, and then to go, okay, Zucker call, borderline, Dahlin, Caden Gooley takes a dive, and then the Tage Thompson one, Caden Gooley also takes a dive. Just awful. Completely swung the momentum of that period. I don't know how else to describe it. It was if you thought the series was done after that first period, I don't blame you. The Sabres were the much, 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 much better team at 5-on-5, but they barely had any time post-goal review. And I'm just going to say, it's because of the referees. I think it was. That first period was just unbelievable.
Well said. The order of the penalties was actually flipped. Dahlin was first, and then it was Zucker.
I did think Dahlin was first.
Yeah,
so it was Dahlin, then Zucker. Yeah,
Dahlin was
I did
first.
think Dahlin was first. So yeah, that makes it even worse. That first dive came minutes after then.
The Dahlin penalty, I mean, you went one by one, so let me go one by one. First of all, that was a goal. It was in. Even if you're defending, that was in. Goaltender interference, the rule is just a complete sack of shit. No one knows what it is. It's such a bad rule.
Do you have the email?
Not pulled up.
Okay, I know what the email said. So I know the broadcast, I guess, was trying to maybe, or as Jesse was saying, the broadcast was correctly saying that they were arguing Helenius was the offender. I think some people on social media or elsewhere were talking about Quinn pushing the glove in. I never thought it was Quinn in the moment. I knew it was Konsta. The league email reflects that.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he obstructed Dobesh from reaching across to make the save on Quinn.
It's just, I don't get the rule. I know, like, if you're in the crease and you touch the goalie, like, it's automatically going to get called it. But, like, he barely affected him. Literally barely, to the point where Dobesh still was able to, quote-unquote, make the save with the puck. And by the way, I am pretty sure Dobesh initiated contact. Like, he tried to poke check, which led to the contact.
I agree.
Like, Helenius was in the crease, no doubt. But, like, if the goaltender is initiating contact, not in a malicious way, just he was going for the poke check, so his arm is out, and then Helenius hits his arm. Like, what the hell is he supposed to do? I just don't get it. Like, it's insane that the goaltender, if they're out of the crease, they could fight further than that no matter what. Like, I saw Dobesh, like, punching Josh Norris in front of the net at some point this game, and I'm completely fine with that. But then, all of a sudden, you get it in the crease, and the goalies, you can't touch them. They get so much protection. Like, it's such a soft rule where goaltenders are, like, fight for your position. I don't get it. The rule is just so bad, and we've seen it in so many instances this year where it's like, how does this little touch really affect anything? It just doesn't.
I felt like the Jet guy, and the Jet guy contact was, I think, the one that actually prevented him. I know, I know what they're thinking.
Gooley's the one who, like,
Gooley once again. Oh, surprise!
Whatever.
It's just
that
like
guy. He like cross-checked Helenius as he was going by, but Gooley was the one who actually went into Dobesh.
Like, I know what the league is thinking. They're thinking Dobesh is being pulled right while the puck is left. It's just
he barely was affected.
I know.
Barely.
I know.
It's such a bad rule. It's like
the league has not been able to figure this out for like 20 years now. And especially the last 5 or so have really been Like, what is goaltender interference? Nobody knows.
It's so frustrating. Like, literally, my initial reaction when they challenged it, I was like, oh, thanks for the free power play. Like, I thought it was such a bad challenge. But, like, literally, like, there's just no consistency. It's just, I don't know how, like, it's just soft. Like, it's unbelievably soft that the goalie gets so much damn protection there. It's like in the NFL, roughing the passer shit now. Like, oh, you touch the quarterback, that's a penalty. And right now, you touch the goalie, and it's goaltender interference. It's just, it's so bad. Like, thank God it didn't have, like, I mean, it did have an effect on the game, a massive effect on the game.
It did.
But thank God we didn't lose because of it. But, like, I'm just so sick of this rule. Like, can they figure this shit out? Or, like, I'm sick of the rule. I'm really, really sick of it. And the thing that pissed me off most, whatever, we saw that call so much throughout the entire year. And I do feel like it went both ways the entire year. We got screwed a bunch early in the season. We got some calls later in the season. But God damn it, there was like 15 to 20 minutes between play. It completely killed the momentum. I think shots were like 13 of 4 maybe at that point or something. And then like, I think we maybe had 4 shots and maybe the next like 20 minutes of play after that. It just completely killed the momentum. And I heard people complain about like, oh, you know, they went through this one review process. How come they have to go through a second? Well, technically they can only review one thing. Like, I get that, but like that's kind of a stupid process too. If you see something, just like don't delay the process and don't make it such a bad product for everybody to watch.
Well, it wasn't even the refs. I mean, Toronto called for that review.
Yeah, that too. And it's like, who knows what was going on in the stadium? Obviously, we were a commercial break, but like, why did it have to wait until commercial, like media's timeouts came back? Like, if Toronto called it in right away, just start it right away. Who cares? You could explain what's happening. It just wasted so much time. It killed the entire momentum, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. They maybe played their 10 best minutes of like the playoffs, I thought, to start the game, and then it just gets completely wiped out from 2 review processes. It was just so frustrating. The Dahlin interference, like, are you kidding me? What is he?
Have you seen? Did you see? Have you seen?
Leg.
Have you seen the corner angle of it?
Yeah, it's so bad.
Goulet completely initiated contact. He like that was a Tim Stützle like play. Tim Stützle like dive. I mean, I know Montreal
tried to avoid it.
Montreal was
Dahlin
booing
didn't do anything.
Dahlin. They were booing Dahlin by the end of the night, and I mean, he took what 2 penalties.
Yeah.
I know his reaction was a little exaggerated, but it was for good reason. Goulet completely went over to him. Dahlin skated in a straight line. He did not stick out anything. Goulet fished for a call, and he got it. It
was awful, and that's his embellishment. The Zucker one,
I don't think. Go ahead. I was going to
Oh.
jump ahead to the Tage one, but
Well,
you do the Zucker one.
Yeah, I'll keep going. The Zucker one I thought was weak, but like there was contact. I still think it was a weak call that shouldn't be called in the playoffs. And then, I mean, we skipped over one. They took both, like the Krebs and Bolduc. Krebs literally gets taken down on the ice in a headlock. So
He gets grabbed by the collar.
Yeah, literally, like, they didn't call a penalty when that happened. It's when Krebs punched back. Then they took them both. Like, how does that make sense? He gets taken by the collar, thrown to the ice, which is pretty dangerous, and they only called it back when Krebs threw a punch. And by the way, everybody saw it after the fact on Twitter. Bolduc tried kicking Krebs in that scrum. Like, somehow that's missed. Whatever. They took both. Whatever. And then, obviously, the Tage Thompson one, I mean, it's just another dive. It's just so weak. Like, yeah, should Tage be doing, like, that little cross-check?
It was the
no,
fact
but it was
that
so
that,
soft.
It was the fact that was the last one of this entire sequence. Montreal already had 3 power plays, or there was
2.
a long review process. They had the 2 power plays plus the 4-on-4, and then they called that. And then the 4th Sabres penalty of the period was that one. That was absurd. That's not a penalty in the regular season. That is there was contact there. Goulet wasn't really anticipating it, he was. I think he just took another dive, and I just can't believe they called that again. Thompson, I was expecting for the replay to show a follow through. There was barely any follow through. Like he didn't. It's just not a penalty. It's the friggin' playoffs.
Well,
It's the friggin' playoffs.
For what 5-10 years since we haven't been in the playoffs. Obviously, been 15, but for the last 5-10 years, it's like okay, once you get to the playoffs, refs put their whistles away. You can get away with shit, and they're calling everything right now. That first period, like you couldn't do shit. Like those penalties are so bad. Like I wonder next game are they gonna like look at embellishment penalties like that? Those are bad. It's just flops. It's just annoying. Like it's just so bad that they put their whistles away at some points and they call this ticky tack stuff other times. And I think what's also been frustrating is like it happened a little in the Boston series, and we've known that they talked about it now that the league has had meetings with like the refs for our series to start cutting down on shit. So there's not so many scrums. It's like this hasn't been that crazy of a series where you need to have the refs really policing the game so much. Nothing is really happening that's that crazy other than like at the end of last game. And the fact that the refs are now making these just weak calls in such high leverage situations, it's awful. That first period was awful hockey, an awful performance by the refs, and it just shows why sometimes like you just see the NHL as just one of the worst run products in all of sports.
I've always said
embarrassing.
like I said, I never give the referees flack. I've said, like you can quote me, I've said that the NHL doesn't have a refereeing problem, it just has a rules problem in certain points. Like tonight just makes that statement look like just wrong. Like the refs were completely in on the game in the first period. They were dictating how it was being played. It was just utterly and absolutely ridiculous that it had gotten to that point. And it affected things. The Sabres were affected by that entire flow. And it was going to be hard to imagine them to see them come back, for some people especially.
Yeah.
So
look, literally, I think if that whole review process doesn't happen and we keep our momentum going, like this game would have been completely different. They were just dominating, absolutely dominating to start the game, and everything just changed because of officiating and the review process, and it was just it's such a shit product sometimes. It really is. Like it reminds me of the NFL and the Bills sometimes in these playoffs games. Like I hate to bring up the comparison, but it's like just the refs getting too involved sometimes. It's ridiculous.
that felt like that whole period just felt like the Broncos game, like the end of it all over again, where it's just like you're in full you've gone past the all right, I don't agree with that call territory where it's like what is going on here? This is no longer football. This is no longer hockey. This is now ref ball.
Yeah, it's just the worst part when refs dictate what's going on in the game. And that happened today in the first period. It was brutal, but at the end of the day, we still came out on top. And the second and third period I thought was fine. But the first period was egregious, and it should be talked about. And it got to the point where people were tweeting about the nationalities of the four refs.
Yeah,
and they were all Canadian,
that's a bit
by
much.
the way.
That's a bit much.
Well, three of them were Canadian. One was French, but like,
yeah,
it got,
shocking. People
it gets to
in
that
hockey
point.
are, yeah, people working in hockey are Canadian. I don't think people are unearthing anything.
Yeah,
incredible. If Justin Key was reffing the game, that would be different.
Yeah, that would be different.
If he was reffing tonight, oh my god! Even if he was a linesman, it would have been like, what? What are we doing here? He would not have made it back to Buffalo.
No.
But like you said, that was the first period. All right, at the end of the day, it was 2-1. It's only a 1-goal deficit. The Sabres just had to regroup. And for much of the last two periods, like we said last episode, this team was lacking some composure. And after that first period, which like I really don't blame them for, they reacted to it wrong. The Sabres only continued to dig themselves a larger hole with each penalty that was called. Do you have the sequence of penalties? I can probably rattle them off, just maybe not in order.
2 minutes into the second, Byram high sticking against Josh Anderson.
Yep.
And that was shortly after killing off Tage Thompson. Well, no, because they scored on Tage's power play. Never mind. So, yeah, Bowen Byram. Then the Sabres get the double minor power play at 5 minutes 56. And then Dahlin interference on Cole Caulfield 11 minutes into the period. And
Very
then,
much a penalty.
Yeah, very much a penalty. And then with a minute 30 left in the period, Bowen Byram double minor. All of
Very
those
much a
were
penalty.
stupid penalties. They're
Every single
They're
one.
good calls. They're stupid penalties.
The first Byram one was like they didn't show the reverse angle on the broadcast,
No,
so
they
it just kind
didn't.
of looked like it just nicked him. So I don't want to call that one egregious. But then 10 minutes later he goes and almost takes who was the second guy he high sticked?
Texier.
Texier. He almost takes Texier's. He almost knocks a tooth out of his mouth. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean they were undisciplined. And then wasn't there one more in the third, or was that it? All right, so they finally did put the whistles away. But yeah, like those were dumb. Like I said, any complaint we have was about the first period, and nothing about the last two periods. The Sabres were undisciplined. There was a lot that they did wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Dahlin and Byron both had 2 penalties tonight. Like, you can't have that
Yeah.
out of your top 4. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 Byron penalties and the second Dahlin one obviously were bad.
Yep.
But, I have to say, that Tage Thompson goal, first of all, one of the most hilarious goals ever scored. Second of all, one of the most satisfying puck don't lie moments I have ever seen as a hockey fan. That was incredible. That is exactly what the Sabres deserved after that first period. They deserve that goal. I know Montreal fans, they're going to call it lucky, and of course it was lucky. But that was a puck don't lie moment, and it made me laugh. This power play, it makes me laugh, I have to say. The day that the Sabres have a good power play finally, a part of me might miss this era just a little bit because it does dumb stuff like this sometimes. That was a playoff power play goal, maybe one of the biggest goals of the season, and it was scored that way. Like, it wasn't like Victor Arvidsson's where they were already up 1-0, and obviously it impacted the outcome of that game, but it wasn't game altering like this one was. That was hilarious. It was even more hilarious that it was on Jakub Dobiš. It was more hilarious that he was in the net. Like, he was almost anticipating, just in case it pops out, I'm going to be in net. And it still just bounces perfectly off his pad. Just the moment of realization as the announcers recognize it and everybody watching. Like, I was in a public setting when this was going on, and just everybody realizing in real time what had just happened. Just chef's kiss. Incredible, incredible stuff.
Just hilarious. It's just, in a few weeks when we look back at this series, and we're going to be like, oh, the power play was actually like pretty good, because numbers-wise, it's actually been pretty good for us. And this is one of the goals. Like, it's just a classic Sabres power play goal. It's like halfway through the season when we were complaining about the power play, and I was like, I want to put together a compilation of all their goals, because some of them are just such bullshit. Like, shooting from the goal line. Like, that's not a good power play goal. It's a goal. And now you throw this one in there. But, hey, it's a power play goal. It pads the stats. It's just how Seth Apper drew it up. It's just, he did his research on the boards and the goalie door, and it worked out. It's hilarious. But we will take it. We will take it.
We will take it.
It's
And
pretty
that's
funny.
goal-
Tage has had a bad series. Like, he has. I don't care that he scored 2 goals. He's had a bad series. And his 2 goals are like, literally last game, it was a tap-in. He was in right spot. It was an
He's
empty
been
net
playing the
tap-in.
bank.
Yeah. And then today, it's crazy. He's having a rough series, but you're going to look back on it. Oh, okay, 2 goals. That's not bad.
Hey, you know what? Players produce at the right time. I know.
Goal scorer's goal.
It's a goal scorer's goal. He picked up a point on the last power play goal. So
He did.
You know what? It's all I can ask for. Just produce. And yeah. So that score holds. We go through all the dumb Buffalo penalties. We get to the Byram one, And like we said, this was the game. Double minor. Like, how were you feeling when Bowen Byram took that double minor penalty?
I was pissed. I mean, I was like, all they got to do is get through this 4-minute power play, and I think they'll be good. And we did get lucky that it happened at the end of the period, and it split up the penalty basically between just 2 penalties. But I wasn't feeling the best. They were due for another power play goal because they had one in the first.
Was
obviously,
this the
2
one
other
where
power play
Caulfield?
goals.
Was this the one where Luukkonen had Caulfield twice? Maybe it was earlier in the period.
It might have been.
I want to say it was earlier in the period. But either way, I mean, Luukkonen obviously came up big during that. And yeah, I mean, when they took the penalty, you just did not. You weren't feeling good about their odds in that one. Like, I mean, I said multiple times during this game, I'm like after I think after the first Byram high stick, I'm like, all right, Montreal's not getting another call for the rest of the game. Then Dahlin throws Caulfield into the third row, and I'm like, all right, this is it. This is the last call they're gonna get. Then Byram just tries to take Texier's nose off, and you're thinking like, so this is how it happens, and you have to give credit. It was a hell of a kill. It was a little frantic in the second period, the second period portion, but I thought in the third period when they opened that period, they had them pretty locked down.
Yeah. I mean, it's just we've had so many high sticking penalties. I feel like the Tuck and Byram especially, like they're just being so undisciplined with their stick. It's happening way too much. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, even if you look at the numbers, they pretty much shut them down. I mean, obviously at 5-on-5, we were the better team, and they had some chances, but they did a pretty good style of play where they were shutting them down, keeping them to the outside in the third. They still got chances, but
yeah, I think they're starting to pick up on like Suzuki. Guy doesn't want to shoot the puck. Like, he's looking to pass it, and I think they're picking up on that just a little bit better. For example. And I think that's been something they've tried to attack.
Yeah, and I don't they're not letting Lane Hudson run around that much. Like, they're really trying to keep him in front of them. They're not trying to chase that much. And I'm noticing adjustments on Montreal's side too. Like, one of the things you see about Sabres defense so much is that they're so calm with the puck in their own zone. Like, the Canadiens or on any other opponent will just do a drive-by. The Sabres will recognize that, get the puck, regroup. The Canadiens tonight, we're not letting them do that. There were a few times where we just tried to hold the puck like we normally do without issue, and then we had a few turnovers, especially early in the game. So adjustments are being made on both sides. So yeah, we're catching some of their tendencies, but they're catching us too.
The rest of the third period is played at 5-on-5 after that kill. And you can feel it building that this is finally a game that's being decided by the two teams. Well, actually, I mean, it only took a few minutes later now that I think about it.
Yeah, it was 3 minutes into the period.
3 minutes later, Peyton Krebs gets grabbed onto, I believe, by Doc. Was it Evans?
Yeah, it was Evans.
It was Evans. And now the Sabres go to the power play. And they break the puck into the zone. Josh Doan opens a lane to the middle of the ice, gets the puck to Zach Benson, who in just the tightest of spaces goes forehand, backhand at the crease, roofs it over Jakub Dobish. Happy mother effing birthday to Zach Benson. 21 years old. He's finally going to have his first drink after tonight. God, I mean, that was just incredible. I mean, how long have we been saying Josh Doan, Zach Benson need to be on the first power play unit? They just do. They make things happen. The Sabres power play is just so bad. It has no plan. But sometimes guys can just go out and make a play. And for like the second time in this series, it was first in game 1 when Benson slid it to McLeod backdoor. And then now tonight where Doan gets the puck to the middle of the ice to Zach Benson in tight where those two are going in and they're making plays on the man advantage. This has been there for them all season. It's something we've talked about since December. And to me, I understand why maybe Zach Benson got taken off because Jason Zucker was producing this season on the power play. The fact Josh Doan was ever taken off this unit was just unacceptable. And you're now seeing, like, this is very close to the Sabres' best unit they can ice. I think Jack Quinn, who I'd say played a fantastic game tonight, I thought. On the power play, I think they need something more there. But for the most part, Rasmus Dahlin and Tage Thompson are not being taken off this unit. Josh Doan and Zach Benson should never leave this first power play. It just should not happen. And they go out and they make a play when the Sabres need it. Hell yes, Zach Benson. The Sabres get 2 power play goals tonight now, and now they just have to protect this lead with 15 minutes to go.
Josh Doan, second on the team in points now in the playoffs. Zach Benson tied for third. Those two have just been unbelievable this whole series. It's been awesome. I believe the broadcast kept saying that they think Josh Doan has been the best player this series for the Sabres, and those two have just been awesome. The fact that they were ever taken off the power play was insane. They weren't being scapegoated, but Seth Apper was trying anything and everything, and he was going about it the wrong way. And he would keep Josh Norris on it, and then take Doan off. It was just dumb. But those two have just made the power play so much better. That's why the second power play was good prior to them switching it up, because those two were on it. So we're finally getting some power play production. We're getting it set up more in the zone, and it's no coincidence. It's because those two are on it.
It's why when those the Sabres, I feel like for so long now, and I think it's part of the reason that I think the Josh Norris trade, the acquisition, was just doomed to fail. It's like they've just been chasing power play finishers for so long now. I mean, Olofsson was that for years, and Thompson being on there for as long as he has, and then having Zucker on there, having Tuck on there, having Josh Norris on there, having whoever, like
Jeff Skinner.
Jeff Skinner, like so many. Oh my God, Jeff Skinner on the power play. Thanks for bringing up back flashbacks. Like so many of those guys, they want them because they score goals, and they're going to get goals. But there's just something missing with a lot of those players. And there's like Canadiens players, like Cole Caulfield, of course, is a finisher. Same with Slavkovsky, but I feel like a lot of those, their players are, I think, a lot more multi-dimensional. Maybe not in the case of those two players. I don't know. I don't watch the Canadiens nearly enough. It just feels like when the Sabres play them, it's forever. They're considering multiple options, and I feel like Thompson's always looking to shoot. Norris should be looking to shoot and just won't, and he's not good enough to facilitate as well. Even their quarterback, Rasmus Dahlin, I feel like half the time is just looking to shoot the puck. Mm-hmm. And Zucker, same thing. Tuck on the power play, kind of the same thing. And Zach Benson, Josh Doan, and someone who I think maybe I would prefer on the power play just because he's always looking for that pass, Ryan McLeod. I think part of the issue with the Sabres for so long on the power play, it's the structure, and the structure will always doom them. And I don't think, I've said many times, fixing the personnel is not going to fix it. I do think you add some play creators on there, they're going to create some plays. And now you've seen that with Benson and Doan. And it's one step closer to figuring out something that at least works. I'm not going to expect, Montreal's a top probably 5 power play in the league. I think they finished 6th this year. I'm not expecting you to get there in the playoffs, but these are two players that should not leave your top unit for forever as long as they're on the team.
They don't have the effective trigger men like Montreal does. That's what they've been trying to do for so long. Get someone who could just shoot the puck, have a good one-timer. They just don't right now, or at least they don't create the opportunities enough for that to happen. So just get guys out there that can make plays happen and can just make backdoor plays happen. I'm not opposed to putting McLeod up there too. He's our best entry man. That's
definitely
a fact.
That's kind of my big thing. I mean, he is as close to automatic on a power play entry as his team has.
Yeah.
And I know obviously he doesn't have the finishing ability, but I think can't pick and choose. I mean, the team misses Yuri Kulik so much. But obviously he's not available to them.
One of the complaints about the Sabres for years at times has been that they overpass. Like, I am fine if they try to overpass in the power play because they don't have any shooters or they can't create any shooting opportunities. Just make plays happen. And if Josh Doan and Zach Benson are going to be two of those guys doing it, just keep rolling them out there and keep letting them do their thing because they have been incredible this series. And thank God they got Josh Doan signed. Zach Benson, his stock just keeps going up.
Keeps on rising. There's just, I feel like now after this game, especially with the emergence of one Konsta Helenius, I think people are going to start to change their minds. Just a little bit. Not completely. Just a little bit on the Tuck thing. I think they can at least now see there's a plan. Or that there's backup. That you're going to have an infusion of talent next. Like, look at the tonight. The Sabres were great at 5-on-5. No Noah Ostlund. No Yuri Kulik. Helenius just breaking into the league. Like, there's stuff there. And I'm not saying that's a good enough plan. Like, I would still want them to chase after things should Alex Tuck depart. But Helenius scored at a historic rate in the AHL this season. Historic. This is why this was not a surprise to me that he played as good as he did, and he was great with the Sabres for his. I'll say good. I'll say he was good in the time he was up with the Sabres, and you see, like, he dragged Jason Zucker into a fantastic
Zucker
night.
had his best game of the playoffs. And it's no coincidence that it was with the ladies. Even Quinn had one of his best games in a while.
I don't want to jump ahead too much. I want to wrap up the game before we get to Helenius, but with the Tuck thing and with, I know, I just want to say, like, I think after tonight, maybe some people are starting to change their minds just a little bit. But to get back to the point, Sabres get the big goal on the power play. They have 15 minutes to hold it. And I have to say, I think they did a damn good job holding the lead. I know that the shot attempts were 1,000,000-0. The advanced numbers, I think, had the Canadiens at like 0.8 goals the whole period at 5-on-5, and the Sabres were at like 0.4. Like, that Montreal had quantity, they did not have quality. And while it's, your heart drops every time you see a point shot floated from the net, I think once again the Sabres had a pretty comfortable last back half of the game. They were just kind of doing their thing, weathering the storm, getting the puck out when they needed to. They almost went up 4-2 at multiple points, mostly because of one Konsta Helenius. I like their finish to the game, and they close it out 3-2 in the Bell Center. Just a gritty win that they really fought and clawed for. And now we go back to Buffalo tied 2-2.
You know how many block shots they had tonight?
Ooh, I think it was like 20-5 at one point in the third.
Finished 27-6.
Yeah. But it was all point shots. I mean, it's really what it was.
They're putting their body on the line. Timmins had 5. Samuelson had 6.
He
Dahlin had 4. Timmins always doing his thing.
He's always, never has the puck. He's getting in the way of it all the time.
Yep. But 27 block shots. I think that at the time where you saw that stat on the broadcast, they were saying it was a playoff record for that year, for this year, and it just kept going up. I mean, they blocked so many shots. It just they've always been good with that. They've always been willing to do that. They always have guys diving and do it, and Timmins might be the best of them all. But it
that
just
slide
shows
tackle outlet he had at one point.
Yeah.
That was great. I mean, he had no stick. Just great.
Play.
Can guys stop breaking their sticks while in their own zone? Like,
happened in Greenway again on the penalty kill.
Again. Like, Jesus. Anyways, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, but just so many block shots. That's part of the reason why they were able to shut them down. They're just getting in front of it, and they've always been willing to. Samuelson had 6 block shots, 6 hits, a goal, 2 shots.
He was a beast tonight. Tonight was a big bounce back. I think Ruff gave him some props in the post game, as he should have.
He played the most of anybody tonight.
I mean, yeah, a lot of, Rasmus Dahlin was both in the box and also doesn't really kill penalties. They needed their penalty killers tonight. This one's from Lindy Ruff. Quote, he's a beast. He's great down low. Says his PK work, his stick work was great. It was a, quote, real good night for him, which I 100% agree with.
Dahlin played the 5th most out of the defensemen, even less than Byram, who had 2 more penalty minutes than him. Timmins played the 3rd most, having almost 8 minutes of penalty kill time.
It was interesting that I think the broadcast brought this up, and it was a good point that, like, you've seen him in Montreal, like, Jack Guy's barely playing for them, as he should. The guy sucks at hockey, I have to say.
Did you see Money Puck?
Wasn't he at 0%?
0% he finished with.
He wasn't on the ice for an expected goal.
Nope.
Meanwhile, Luke Schenn was up there. At least after the first, I think he was.
No, he was the highest on the team. 90.14.
Jack Guy, who I can proudly say, just I'm glad he didn't get suspended after last game. The Sabres want him in this series.
Yeah.
The Habs have been rolling 5 defensemen mostly. And I think now, for the rest of it, I think you're going to see the Sabres operate the same.
I agree.
Timmins is your 5.
He's been the 5. I mean, I don't. That was never going to change.
I think this series, they weren't rolling 5 in the Boston series, and I think you still would have said Stanley was your 5. That's really kind of emerged this series now, and we've had the Michael Kesselring conversation a few times now. I don't want to litigate it this episode. I just do think it's telling he didn't get into the lineup tonight. I mean, we didn't even touch on that. The Sabres went with Luke Schenn tonight, which was interesting.
It's a decision.
I was thinking this, like, if it happened last game, I think I would have understood that more. You're going to the Bell Center. He's logged a lot of playoff games. If you wanted him for that, fine. But I think because the Sabres already had, they had that experience playing in that atmosphere, that maybe you would start to look at more of the play style of the series and seeing, as you were saying, the trouble they've had on exits. You go to a Kesselring, you go to a Metsä, but hey, Ruff went with Schenn. He had one bad, I think it was in the second period, like, had all the time in the world to make a pass, got forechecked, fumbled it, but it didn't cost them. I mean, I know he barely played, but it worked out, and I think for the rest of this series, or I would guess for the rest of the series, you're going to be seeing the Sabres top 4 plus Timmins really get the workload here.
Yeah. I mean, the Schenn, he played 7 minutes, 4 seconds. It did not cost them tonight. I still feel like it's going to cost them. He's just the slowest skater between both teams, maybe the slowest skater like in the league. Like, I just feel like it's going to cost them in a series where you're facing another quick team. But it didn't cost them tonight, so I guess it is what it is. But I'm not giving any credit to that decision. I think it's an awful decision. But whatever, it worked out. He played almost 3 minutes on the penalty kill. So he played 4 minutes and 24 seconds at even strength. We'll see how it progresses, but that's definitely your 5 defensemen that you're going to be seeing a lot. And, I mean, Timmins played probably the most he's ever played with the Sabres, 21-38, 3rd most on the team. And it's funny, we've mentioned every single defenseman other than this guy. Owen Power played 23-43 tonight, and he had a great night.
He was fucking phenomenal tonight. I don't say that lightly. He was unreal on his exits. He was the one defenseman that I don't think really had trouble with them tonight. He was so steady defensively, caused so many failed entries by the Habs. He set up multiple Sabres 2-on-1s with outlet passes. He was so good tonight. And I know I saw people taking notice of it. He was so good. I cannot understate it enough. I think he's been solid this, like, really, he's been Owen Power this series.
I think he's been pretty good.
I think the Boston series, he was fantastic. Aside, I think I'm trying to remember which game he was rough. Maybe it was just game 2. But like he's been good the whole playoffs, I think. And I think even if you disagree, you can't disagree about tonight. He was great.
Yeah. Looking at time on ice, you know who played the least of the forwards?
Well, if you're saying it in that manner, I'm gonna guess McLeod.
He did play the least of anybody.
I mean, I think. I don't think in a typical game he's going to be playing less than Greenway and Malenstein, but I think a lot of it was skewed towards killing. And he's the fourth line center now, which I don't hate.
I don't hate either.
I liked that decision.
He played the least amount on 5-5 too, only by 2 seconds, but it wasn't just because of killing. And McLeod's one of the top killers too, so I do think it's interesting. I don't mind him on the fourth, obviously. I just know your thoughts on him, so I just want to hear your thoughts.
He's been playing with two players. I mean, I think Zucker. I think tonight was a spark. I think Helenius just did different things tonight, and the line just gelled differently. I think I'm not going to say that line struggled because of McLeod. I don't think that's anywhere near the truth. And now he's playing with, respectfully, he's playing with Greenway and Malenstein, and it's a different role. And I think now you just kind of want, we've been complaining about how fast the Habs have looked. They're adding speed to that fourth line, and I don't hate the decision. I really don't. It's a different role now. I'm not gonna freak out.
I am glad they broke up that third line. It
was time.
Very surprised that they did not break up the top line though, because I still think it was another night where I don't think they had a good night.
Needs it.
Yeah, I still don't think they had a good night.
I know.
Krebs had a phenomenal Boston series. Genuinely one of our best players. He's had a rough series. I mean, that whole line has had a rough series. Tuck's been very quiet. Tage has been pretty quiet, and Krebs has been quiet too. Like I'm very surprised they have not switched that up yet, and I can almost guarantee that they're not going to do that going to the next game.
Yeah, I mean the expected numbers. They liked Krebs and Tuck tonight. Like they won their shares at 5-on-5. Thompson was slightly below, so it is what it is. I think they're definitely not switching now. I mean, if you want to talk about something interesting, the Norris and Doan did not have a good night by the expected numbers.
Really?
At 5-on-5. I'm not gonna trust that to heart. I think my point in that is just like I think the top two lines could use some shuffling still.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna happen now, so there's no point. Sabres win a game, Ruff's keeping the lineup the same. We know this.
Yeah.
I think, even like Carrick, who I don't think we'll see the rest of the series at this point. Even him, now McLeod's got fourth line center kind of locked down, so I don't know. It is what it is. I think maybe it could be something we complain about after Game 6 or after Game 5 or Game 6. But hey, they worked tonight. They got the results. It is what it is. The third line got the juice it needed.
And just look what happens when you score power play goals.
Changes things. All right, we've gone 1 minute and 20, and we have not talked about the most consequential. Hour 20. And we have not talked about the most consequential decision that Lindy Ruff made tonight. He made a change between the pipes. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen started this hockey game. And looking at the full picture, it's hard not to be impressed with what he did tonight.
He played great. He got better as the game went on. He made some phenomenal saves in the second and third period. And no matter what decision Lindy made, I would have agreed with it. Like I thought Lyon was doing great.
I didn't hate it.
No, I thought Lyon has been great. I'm not blaming any of the games on him. I think it was more or less just to spark something, to maybe show your players, hey, you haven't been playing good defensively. You're the reason Lyon's coming out, so you better play good in front of UPL. And they, for the most part, they did play better in front of UPL, and he made some huge saves. He played great in the second and third period. He had 28 saves, 28 of 30.
Yeah.
He had a great night.
The first period ends, and I think you're getting nervous because I think, the Caulfield goal was bad. He kind of bounced off the post too much. He wasn't set, and then, he lifted his pad and stick off the ice. You can't be getting beat 5-hole in that spot. And I think even some people, not me, but some people would complain about the first goal because maybe he was slow to react. The shot hit him kind of in the midsection. But, I mean, come on. I would still say no. I understand what you're getting at, but like if that goal goes posting in, then I don't think there's anything you can argue about.
Well, I think that's the whole point. It's that it was basically shot to his chest, and it just squeaked between the arm. Like, here, okay, after this first period, I was really pissed off about UPL. Especially that second goal. That I don't know what he was doing. He was bad. Awful. The first goal, everybody will look past it because it was a defensive breakdown. It wasn't his fault, but like I still expect a save there. It wasn't that good of a shot. It just got in between his arm. So I was pretty pissed off about UPL after the first, but he played phenomenal the rest of the game. He is probably the biggest reason we won. And he was awesome. Especially, like, I think in the first, I think he stopped, like, 4 of 6. And he looked a little nervous, and he just looked confident the whole rest of the game.
I believe he had about 1.6 goals saved above expected, depending on the model you look at. I don't know what Money Puck had.
Money Puck had, like, let's see, I think 1.3.
What did Montreal have at all situations?
All situations, they had 3.31, so 1.3 above
okay,
expected.
so about 1.3. He saved you a goal tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, he was sensational the last 2 periods. I think the only iffy play was really when that one squeaked through his 5-hole. Otherwise, like, he looked in control. The rebounds were good, especially considering most of the shots were coming from the point. He was finding pucks very well. He was gloving a lot of those point shots around screens. The Canadiens had a strategy to get in his way, and he was tracking well. And obviously, the Sabres blocked a ton of shots. He was great. And, some of the big saves, he robbed Caulfield twice on one-timers. He was very, very good. And goaltending is a crapshoot. It's a, shoulda, coulda, woulda, what if game. But Luukkonen came in. He faced the music. He faced the Montreal center that they came ready. They had a Luukkonen chant prepped and ready to go. They had the correct syllables and rhythm down. And he stood up to the task. So awesome stuff from him. Definitely going to go in Game 5, I would assume. And we'll see if he can carry this over.
Those 20,000 Montreal fans can pronounce his name better than PK Subban can, and he's on a national broadcast.
What did he say? I know people had some thoughts on the panel.
He mispronounced. I wasn't like listening entirely. I just
Somebody
heard
said,
it.
I think Levy corrected him and still said it wrong.
I wasn't listening too much. I just heard in the background, but
yeah,
just funny.
All right. On that note, I think it's time. Konsta.
Look at that grin.
I know. I'm just gonna. He didn't have a point tonight, even though he should have. He didn't have. He didn't have any production on the actual score sheet. I'm giving my Tendies basket to him. He came in and juiced this lineup. The third line, like, they were great tonight. There's really no way to describe it. Quinn was among their best player at 5-on-5 in terms of expected goal share. Konsta wasn't too far behind, and neither was Zucker. He was just phenomenal. He looked. I knew he'd come in and he would be an upgrade to the lineup, but I have to say, he even shocked me a little bit. He was everywhere tonight from opening faceoff. It just makes me so happy. Like, this is it's finally. I think it was Jeremy White that tweeted it out. Like, Konsta should have been in sooner. Yes, he should have. Yes, he friggin' should have. This was there for them the whole time. I'm not expecting him to do this every single game, but like, this is what he was doing earlier in January. Even when he wasn't producing, he was contributing. He's responsible in his own zone. He was out there protecting the lead with 3 minutes to go. He was on the ice before the Thompson line took the ice to defend the final minute or so. All right, Lindy Ruff, when he Like, there are young players he latches himself onto very quickly. We saw that with Noah Ostlund. I don't think we're far behind with Helenius in this lineup. I mean, he's a very reliable player. Like, this isn't as if they were calling up I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a compare like I feel like Savoy, I know Oilers fans think he's a very great player defensively. He's very much, I think, offensive. He's there to generate offense, and I feel like Helenius, he helps you in both zones, which is why I think he's going to stick around in this lineup, and it's why he was so effective tonight. It wasn't just the 2 chances towards the end of the game. He was helping with their entries. He was helping breaking the puck out. He was winning battles. Like,
he had a big back check at one point.
He has a nasty side to him too. Like, there's a little rat there that he's ready for this playoff atmosphere.
With his age, I was expecting him to be pushed around a little, and he was taking hits. He was embracing the physical contact, and like, it just makes you think, like, he's been playing in a men's league. He's been playing in professional league for like years now. It's not like he just got to the AHL. He was playing in the professional men's league over there, overseas, and like, he
2
just
seasons in the AHL, 2 playoff runs in the AHL where he produced. I mean, I know this year was only the 1 series, but still 3 games, points in all 3. Yep. He's got, like, it's a very, I know there was one chart, I think Jay Fresh put it out, or somebody stats right. Like, the AHL has ascended to the 2nd best league in the world. It's better than the KHL. It's better than any men's league in Europe. He's been playing in that, and he dominated it this year with a very undergunned roster. This was there for them. He wasn't just good. He was phenomenal. And it just, like I said, it warms my friggin' heart that has been frozen for the however last many months as I've been getting people shouting at me that he shouldn't be in this lineup. I know a lot of that is people don't think he should be pigeonholed on the 4th line, but this is the playoffs. There's no numbered lines in the playoffs anymore. There's no development. You're playing. You're playing to play. When you step out onto the ice, there is no numbered lines. You're just going out there and playing the best hockey you can play, and Konsta can do that. And on top of that, I mean, for playing center as well, I mean, that's huge for them. It's huge for the flexibility.
He won the faceoff battle, too. He was 4 for 6 tonight. Like, it's just crazy as he comes in, and other than the top line, he played the most even strength of the forwards. And it shows that the confidence that I think he gained throughout the game and that he has from Lindy, and it's similar to his Ostlund confidence. It's encouraging. I hope he keeps it up, and I hope they keep instilling this confidence in him, because he was great tonight. He was better than I thought he would have been, and he made Zucker look the best he's looked in like months. So,
God, I would have ascended if he buried one of those 2-on-1 chances.
They were the one he hit
I
the
wanted
post.
It
It was
so
such
bad.
a great save by Dobish, the first one, and then he hit the post in the second. It would have been beautiful.
Would have been storybook.
I mean, that line tonight. Quinn gets a goal taken away, in which Helenius would have had an assist, and then Zucker and Helenius connect on 2 2-on-1s and barely miss on both. So that third line, has 1 goal this entire playoffs, and it was only McLeod. I think we're going to see some positive regression if the trend continues, because they were awesome tonight.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's a guy. It won't take long if they're chasing a game and they need to shuffle something. He can. It's just they're so better off, and the ripple effect. Konsta being able to play center lets you play McLeod on the 4th line, which I know they weren't phenomenal tonight, and he didn't play a ton. But you're better off having him as your 4th line center with those 2, as opposed to a hurt Sam Carrick, and better than a Tyson Kozak. It's the effect that Helenius has in the lineup. It just isn't himself affecting his very line. There's a ripple effect there. And like I said, if things go super stale and they have to try shit, they know they can throw him anywhere. This is not going to be a slow ascension to the top of the lineup. It's going to be very quick, like Noah Ostlund. Will he be quite as good as Noah Ostlund. I think Ostlund still has that higher ceiling, and Lindy already has that trust in him more. But it'll be similar. And, it also doesn't hurt. If you want to chase after a Robert Thomas trade in the offseason, him looking pretty good in the playoffs could help there.
Yep.
But no.
Wasn't Konsta playing with Doan and Ostlund? Or who was he playing with?
I think for one game they did.
For the Nashville game, I'm mainly thinking of.
I think the Nashville game.
No,
I think they had a full on kid line going. I believe it was Ostlund, Benson, and Helenius.
Okay.
And I think at one point Doan got thrown on that.
Stuff gets stale. Throw Konsta. Switch him with Norris.
Yeah.
There's an easy fix right there. So
it's
they do have so much more flexibility.
I know we touched on this, and I didn't want to go too much into it earlier until we got to this point. And this isn't really a note about Game 4, but now you're seeing, and I think now some people are gonna have their minds start to be changed a little bit about the future of Alex Tuch, especially as he's had a rough series. He's pointless through 4 games. That now. You have a middle 6 kind of built with Benson, Kulich, Doan, Ostlund, Helenius, and who did I mention?
I mean, throwing Quinn, Norris, those are the players you didn't mention. McLeod.
Yeah, but I just mean they have a second wave, or at least at the very least, you have Benson up now, you have Doan up now, and you have this second wave kind of coming where Kulich, his only season in the NHL was his rookie season, and now you've got Ostlund, who has his first season under his belt.
And Kulich was the top center in his rookie season, and he was top center coming into this year.
Yeah, and you've got Helenius now coming up soon, and if you don't trade any of those guys in the offseason for a bigger swing, you have stability there in your middle 6. And
all 3 of those players are centers, too, or at least can play center.
Exactly. So it might take a while. I think Helenius is the last high-end Sabres prospect we're going to get for a while here, depending on what they do with Merca, depending on how he develops. But they have young, Tech Benson just turned 21. Noah Ostlund's 22. Yuri Kulich's turning 22.
It was Helenius' birthday this week. He just turned 20.
Helenius just turned 20. Can I say, by the way, the fact his birthday was yesterday is so funny. Sometimes life is funny like that. But yeah, he just turned 20 as well. So just when we get to the Tuch conversation this offseason, there's a reason you're going to have some confidence that maybe the return of Kulich and a full season of Konsta can maybe supplement that. Not fully, but it can help.
Yeah, you'll have some growing pains with the young lineup, but the talent that we have, at least coming up, I mean, just with those 3, Benson and Doan, all of those players who are just getting into the league and making their impact. And then if you throw in Tage, I mean, there's 6 forwards right there who are just a staple. That's not including McLeod, who's extended. Quinn still has at least another year left. Technically, Zucker has another year left. So you have guys already there to supplement, and that's not including Robert Thomas trade. So it is fun having all these young forwards there and knowing that they all can produce and make an impact.
All right, I know I made my pick, but Tendies and Nuggies, who are we giving them out to?
Tendies basket, it's gotta go to UPL. I mean, I think he had a shit first period, but he played phenomenal the rest of the game. And one of the main reasons, gotta give Nuggets to Power, Samuelson. I mean, that massive goal, especially with how quiet he's been. And quietly, I know the conversation around defenseman goals has been Byram. All he needs is one more goal to break the Sabres record. But Sammy's at 3 goals. So he's pretty close too. So I'm giving him a nugget for a huge goal. And then, I mean, I know you gave it to Helenius, but I'll give him some nuggets too because he was
him a
that
Tendy.
spark. I'll give him a Tendy. I mean, that was the biggest thing I talked about last episode, even in our patron episode that we did last night. We just needed some sort of spark, and I'm glad it was Helenius. And, yeah, he made an impact, but UPL's MVP of the game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be biased. I'm gonna give my Tendies basket, as I already said. I'm giving it to Helenius. Just the spark that this lineup needed. He was just he was their best player on the ice tonight. I think, not named Owen Power or Zach Benson. Just so goddamn good.
I'm gonna give nuggets to Timmins too. I think he's quietly been better than what people maybe thinking about.
He had a good
him.
night tonight. He had a good night tonight.
And I do think at times he's had a little more offensive flair than we would have expected. So I quietly, he's been pretty good, and he does block so many damn shots.
I will give him 1 nugget for every shot he blocked tonight.
5 nuggets.
Like I said, Tendy to Power, Tendy to Samuelson, and then on top of that, nuggets to Josh Doan for setting up that go-ahead goal. Nugget to who did I miss? I'll give a nugget to Jack Quinn. Just so due. Maybe the most due player in the playoffs.
Due.
When he came up the middle at one point, I thought that was it. Like they were giving it to him. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got to give a Tendy to the Montreal Zamboni driver.
I was literally just gonna say the same thing. A Tendy to the Montreal boards.
Thank you. The stanchion, whatever. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
So funny.
Massive effect.
All right. Final thoughts on Game 4.
They got back to the game at points, and they need to continue it. The first 10 minutes were awesome. At points in this game, you saw it more. Yeah.
The box.
Please stay out of the damn box. Stop taking these dumb, undisciplined penalties.
I can't believe they had 7. I can't believe they technically had 7 power plays tonight. That is right. It is 7, correct?
Yeah, 7 penalties. The one was offsetting.
7. Yeah, or at least 6 penalties. The 1 double minor. All right.
Yeah.
Something like that. I've been saying 7 all night. I have no clue if it's correct.
It's 7 penalties.
Okay.
If you want to count the double minor as 2, then yes, 7 power plays. But the Krebs and Bolduc was obviously offsetting.
Yeah. So stay out of the box. Just stay out of the box, man. I'm not going to flat out say you're the better team at 5-on-5 because, hey, I have respect for the Montreal Canadiens, unlike with us. This is a 50-50 series. It becomes skewed if you go into the penalty box. Stay out of the box.
Yep. They really didn't get, as much as they had a bunch of dumb penalties, I am glad they really didn't get caught up in shit this game, which is another thing we talked about last game.
I know what you're trying to say, and I agree with you.
They weren't, last game they were too emotional. Like they were taking dumb penalties, they were getting caught up in shit. They really weren't today. I mean, even like Benson's been he's been a huge rat this series. You really didn't see him do much tonight too. So they didn't get caught up in shit, and it worked. And like neither team did, like at all, which I think is better. Like both teams play better when you're not going to get caught up in shit and not going to get as emotional. So try to keep that going. And like game 2, they were chasing hits everywhere. Tonight hits were even. So just play your game. Don't get caught up in shit and stop taking damn penalties.
Yeah, it's like they were tonight. They were undisciplined between the whistles, but compared to game 3 after the whistles, they were much better with that. They were not, I know. I guess Krebs threw a hook, but that was about it.
After he got taken down, so
understandable crash out.
Yeah. The Sabres also. I'm trying to check if this was the first time this playoffs. They won the face-off battle. They won the face-off battle
I think it
tonight.
is. I think it is the first time they've done it.
It's definitely the first time this series. I don't feel like going through all 6 Boston. It's got to be. They won 52% tonight. It's great. They finally.
Round of applause.
Round of applause.
Round of applause.
Tage Thompson
for the
was
Buffalo
50%.
Sabres. Good on them. Long time coming. We're back. We're fully back now. All right. Thoughts heading into Game 5. What are you looking to see?
It's pretty much everything we just said on conclusion and thoughts of Game 4. Just keep up the stuff. Stay out of the box. And I want them to play your game more. I want to see more of that first 10 minutes. We know it's possible that they can do it and they can just dominate at 5-on-5 on times. I want to see it throughout the game a lot more. I want to see them outshoot the Canadiens once this series. I know a lot of them are just point shots, forced shots. We had better chances this game in Game 1, but throughout the whole season, it was if we weren't getting over 30 shots, it was a surprise. And I don't think we might not have over 25 shots this series.
In Game 2. But I know or even last game, I think.
I want to see them dominate the offensive zone time next game. And I want to see them just fully play their game. And I just want to see what will happen. I think there's a chance where we play a game almost fully on 5-on-5 with only 1 or 2 power plays going both ways, and you just play in 5-on-5, and you get up early. You could play your game in the third. You can win the game pretty handily. You just got to stick to your game, and they really haven't this whole series, and that's kudos to the Canadiens. So,
and it's the fact the series is tied. Despite not, Game 1 they had their game, but 3 out of 4 games they've kind of been off a little bit.
Yeah.
From a little bit to a lot, and it is now a best of 3. 2 games are in your home building.
I'm mainly talking about their offensive play. Have they gotten their cycle going at all this series? Really,
it feels like they have this. The Canadiens have done a good job limiting their defensemen from joining, or getting the 3-man high. Cycle going. But that's something that Tampa did a lot this season. So Montreal's had a lot of practice with that. But you just gotta find ways to break it, and they've done so in 2 of these games.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say keep crashing the net, too. Dobish has been awesome, but I do think he's let up some rebounds.
His rebound control is it was the one thing going into the series I had read about him a little bit, and I think you saw that tonight a lot. There were a lot of juicy rebounds available. Quinn nearly had that one that, Dobish had, his left leg. He just had a hope and a prayer, and his left leg standing out, and he stuffed it.
Yep.
The rebounds have been there.
Yep. Keep crashing the net. I think that it was at that point in the game when Quinn had that rebound and he just shot it right into Dobish. And I think at that point in the game, I was we're just not getting any bounces. This last few games, I felt we just haven't been getting
minutes
the bounces.
After the bounce of the series.
No, minutes before the bounce of the series. And then I was okay, I take that back. We just got the bounce of the series, so I won't complain about bounces anymore. But there have been a lot of rebounds out there where it's God, how did that not go in? How did that not go in? So keep getting pucks in the net and crashing that for some rebounds because they're definitely there. Dobish is making that initial save. He's been awesome, but he's definitely leaving some stuff out there to crash the net.
All right. Gritty win. Sabres absolutely needed this one. I'm just so happy that, man, the barn Thursday would have been continuing to get redder and redder had they gone down 3-1. Very happy. Of course I'm happy they tied the series 2-2, but it just, this one felt good. This one, very, very satisfying to win. So, good on the fellas. They earned it. Back to Buffalo we go. Best of 3. This one's going a distance. I think we already know.
Yeah, definitely is. We even brought up, not related to the game exactly, the national broadcast tonight. I'm sorry. Atrocious. I've never heard a commentator, after a player gets high-sticked, where there's visible blood, say, "Oh, it must have been an old cut that he's digging into." I mean, I can't even believe a national commentator said that in a playoff series, that Dahlin was picking. He said the red was already there, and he's picking at an old
He bladed like this is WWE.
Like, I couldn't believe I heard that. It was pretty bad tonight, and they were defending all of the flops that the Canadiens were taking with those penalties that we complain about. They're just saying, they can't be doing that.
You just can't do that. You just can't do that.
Like, yeah, okay, sure.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, and great analysis. And I know people complain about this so much in the NFL with Gene Sachator, where, okay, yeah, you bring on a guy who's a former ref, he's always going to agree with the refs. You don't see that much in hockey. I feel like they usually don't have rules, like analysts that come on. But then, yeah, he came on, and of course he agreed with the goaltender interference. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, they just always back the refs. It's hilarious. The broadcast was awful tonight. I miss the MSG broadcast so much.
Me too. Wish there was a way, like MLB TV is so nice because you can just choose the radio cast and put it over the main thing. Like, I don't know. I can't do it when I'm out and about, but being able to like sync it up to the TV, like, yeah, it's tough. ESPN did not give us their best commentators tonight.
No,
aside from Emily Kaplan.
Aside from Emily Kaplan, they weren't actually biased, but it definitely sounded biased in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't like to ever like, it's kind of like the refs thing. Like, I'm never like, oh, they're biased.
No,
I'm just like, I just think the analysis is bad.
Yeah.
Just
leaning one way.
I find this
at times
a lot. I think, the Sabres broadcast is very laid back. But RJ was a master of this, where he just let moments breathe, as did his color guy. And I feel like with national broadcasts, it's just a constant. Everybody has something to say at every moment, and I think like Ray Ferraro's always on a tangent about something, and sometimes I like him. I think like it's a voice I usually like listening to. I think tonight I think maybe it just goes with the tension of the game, but it's like he's always had something to say about what the Sabres were doing wrong.
Yep.
And, it gets tiring. But I understand they're communicating to a wider audience who don't see it as we do. So yeah. I always try to keep that in mind.
I think he said twice tonight the same exact thing about Helenius, which was a compliment, but he was like, he hasn't taken a single step back. He's not backing down. He's playing his game. Which I agree, but you don't have to say it twice in the same game. You don't have to say the exact same words twice. So they were brutal tonight, and I think it's
who do we have the rest of the series? Please tell me about the TNT cast, or at least give us some. Oh my God, I can't think of it. Who did Game 1 against Boston? It was Mike. Oh my God, who was it?
We were at the game. I could not tell you.
I know, but he's like one of him and Wishiushin are obviously the two big ones. Mike Monaco, that's who it was, or Mike Monaco. I like him, But yeah, not obviously. People have thoughts on Sean McDonough, and I agree. So I don't know. What do we got the rest of the series? Sabres broadcast schedule.
They announced the times. I know they did that.
Yeah, I know.
Thursdays
Saturdays
at
now.
7.
Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Yep.
Hockey night in Canada. Let's see here. It's taking way too long. TNT on Thursday. ABC, so that's going to be ESPN. And then also ESPN for Game 7. Shit.
Great.
I'm going to be at the game Thursday, too. I think we both are, so.
Yep.
Oh, well. All right. Any final thoughts?
I do not think so. How was your viewing experience? I know you went out. I just stayed in.
Yeah, it was fun. Good, fun environment. At a bar, restaurant. Good vibes. Good vibes. People. I could tell everybody was nervous. There was some disgust when the goal got disallowed, but people were calm. I think everybody was. It's fun. I know I said tonight was like a Bills playoff game with how nerve-wracking it was. I was a nervous wreck all day. It's genuinely more. Game 6 against Boston, I thought I was nervous. It was nothing compared to today. Just constantly weighing on my mental state. It was so nerve-wracking, and I just felt like during the game I was just paralyzed the entire time. Didn't want to move.
That is honestly kind of why I stayed in. I just wanted to be in my own element, watch the game, react on my own.
Well, I'm thinking like, I think this series is going the distance. I need to think about how I want to watch Game 7. I don't know if I should be with other people during it. That could be bad.
Well, at least you'd be able to watch the entirety of Game 7.
Yeah. Someone's going on a business trip.
Yeah. Going on a business trip, which I'm excited, but it does interfere with the Sabres playoffs. In a few ways. I think I might have to shave for the business trip.
This guy.
I actually thought about...
I
will say, this is the longest I've ever had it.
It looks
I
good.
don't mind it. Yeah,
it
but
looks good.
It's starting to annoy me because I've never had it this long.
Yeah, what annoyed you last night? As we were gearing up to play...
Playing hockey with facial hair for the first time.
Yeah,
so
on your chin strap.
Yeah.
This guy nudges me before we take the ice. He's like, this is so annoying. I've never played hockey with this much facial hair.
Yeah. If they were to lose tonight, I was thinking about changing up the vibes and shaving tonight. I'll keep it through at least Game 6.
Well, at least you'll know by then. They'll probably have lost the game.
Yeah.
Well, or they win the series. So,
if they win the next two, then I guess I can start. I really have to debate.
Yeah. If they win
tough.
the next two, you're in a tough spot.
It's tough because at some parts it does not look good, but overall, yeah, I will be in Seattle next week, and I have a business event that starts at 6, and 6 there is like 9 o'clock here. Well, it is 9 o'clock here, so realistically, I should be able to watch the first 2 periods of the Sabres game, Game 7.
Oh, my God.
But if I can't watch the 3rd period of a tie game of Sabres hockey, I am going to lose my mind. It will pain me so much. So I'm really hoping they just win in 6, so I've watched all the games. If I miss a game or 2 of the next series, I can live with that. But if I were to miss a Game 7, oh my gosh, that will pain me. Pain me. And it's like, I'll be there, and I'm not going to want to be rude to all the people I'm around, but it's like, I'm going to have to check my phone just, like, constantly. Like, so we'll see if we get to Game 7, if we get to the next series, how that affects. But, yeah, I'm taking a Christian, and I will be missing some episodes next week, unfortunately. This was not a planned event. You got to confirm today, but I found out I might be going on Friday.
Well, we'll have Christian back. I believe he's back Thursday. So he'll be back. Got Jesse on hand. God, still so funny. He just popped in today.
It was something.
So hopefully it's done in 6. I also talked with my traveling group. I think we're going to Montreal. I think.
Really?
We need to see tickets. There is a line. I also...
There's been barely any Sabres fans there. At least jerseys that you could see in the stands. I feel like you've barely seen any.
I mean, it's Montreal, so...
Yeah, I'm not expecting many, but...
I know tonight it was like roughly like pretty comparable to a Sabres ticket in Buffalo. As long as if it's around 200-300, I'm good with that. If it's
Probably.
like 500, I don't know.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to drop though a little bit.
Yeah, tickets are as low as $4.55 right now for Saturday.
I feel like that's going to it was low tonight.
It could be the last game in Montreal, though. Like for the season, obviously, if it goes our way, it would be cool. But that is a lot of money.
I think if they win Thursday, we definitely are. I think we're definitely going to do it. But
it would be cool. So you might be missing an episode 2 then.
No, I would.
Me
still...
and Christian only going to be. Are gonna You're gonna be
you guys could start the show.
Room?
I just hopefully it wouldn't take me too long to get to my hotel.
Yeah,
and record, but yeah, we'll see. TSR could have boots on the ground.
Fun times. I do think.
I mean, it's either that.
Well,
I mean, go ahead.
Saturday, the Sabres are doing the watch party in the arena. So, I mean, I'm already considering doing that. So. I think we all might be doing something Saturday night, no matter what.
Well, I'll definitely know more after Game 5. So, until then, folks, thank you very much for listening. Went the full 2 hours on this one. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at The Sabre Report, also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at The Sabre Report. If you listen to this on YouTube, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Whether you're a Sabres fan, whether you're a Montreal fan. I read them. I read them all. We love the input. We love the back and forth. Montreal fans, I love interacting with you. So be sure to leave a comment down below. If you want updates for the pod, you can follow us at Sabre Report Pod on Twitter. Go give our friends over at the Buffalo Sports Talk podcast a listen as always. They do great stuff. Hey, again, once again, another very active night on Twitter. It's calling out the Department of Player Safety about a few plays. Interesting strategy. Don't know if they'll see that. Oh, we did not bring up Charlie McAvoy, suspended 6 games next season.
Oh, yeah. Hilarious.
I think that was expected.
Yeah. Deserved. Still kind of crazy. 6 games is a lot.
Yeah. So that is now known. Also, I did have the chance to hop on the Back Checking the Bolts podcast. Yes, I hopped on a Tampa Bay podcast. Had a very nice invitation from them, from Jason. Had a great conversation with him about the Sabres' whole turnaround this season, and talking about games 1 through 3 of this series. So really enjoyed our discussion. Go give that episode a listen. Once again, that's the Back Checking the Bolts podcast.
I'm going to mention one more thing about the game. We forgot to bring up. If Christian was on the pod, I know he would have brought this up because it's his favorite player on the Canadiens. You would have thought Slafkovsky got shot the way he went down.
I thought something bad did happen.
Yes.
What the frig, man?
It
what
just came across
that?
my feed, so I remembered it. But yeah,
it was the butt end of Luukkonen's stick.
Yeah,
absurd. That might have been the worst dive of the game. Genuinely,
it might have been. And you get back from commercial break, and you just see him skating around just fine. Mm-hmm. That was pretty bad. I also thought too. I was like, okay, what happened? Like this looks bad. And then you see the replay. It's like, come on, like
yeah,
have some respect.
Have some
I'm
respect
glad I
for the
remember
game of
that.
hockey.
because I know Christian would have been all over that.
He was like spread eagle, or he was like just he was spread out along the ice. Like
Yeah.
that was dumb. All right. Any final thoughts? That's it.
I think I got all my final thoughts out.
All right, folks. 2-2 series. Let's keep the vibes high. Do also want to take this second to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/the Sabre Report. Our Nugget tier patrons and our Tendies tier patrons have had some good back and forth conversations with them. Some of our OT episodes, we've now opened up questions to them for each and every episode. And we've gotten some good ones, including last night, previewing tonight's game. So if you haven't, you can join us over at patreon.com/Sabre Report to get extra content. But we do want to take the second to thank our Nuggets patrons and our Tendies patrons, specifically Derek Pastricki, Zach Benson, Grant Budney, Tajan Slug, Nick Santos, Nathan Little, and Tim Z. Your support is very much appreciated. We could not do this without you guys. So once again, thank you. We love you. And patreon.com/the Sabre Report. All right. That'll do it. Series tied 2-2 coming back to Buffalo. We're so due for an overtime game.
I know. We did call, or at least I called, it was going to be a 1-goal game. But we are due for an overtime game. I mean, Game 5 in the Boston series was overtime, so might be due for that.
Maybe.
I hope it doesn't repeat the same.
And we're going to be there.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
So things are lining up again.
Oh, you know what? I have another final thought. Sorry. Sabretooth better be coming down from the damn Raptors.
Yes.
He better be coming down. There's no excuse. 2-0 with him coming down from the Raptors. 0-3 with him not coming down.
Make sure you tweet that out. The world needs to know.
The social media team is usually pretty on top of stuff, so hopefully they relayed this to everybody. I'll tweet that in the morning if someone else hasn't already.
Like, no, it's in my contract. Only one game a series. Rip up the contract.
Don't care.
Rip it up. You're going down from the ceiling again.
It's for the greater good.
Agreed. All right. We will talk to you guys after Game 5. See ya.
Go
Sabres.
Sabres.